Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be discussing financial crime and compliance. With us today is Scott Samme and Simon Richardson. Help describe why graph or network analytics is sort of a natural, intuitive way to express case investigations. Because it's different, right? It's not what we've been doing before.
I think if you look, it is something that's been done before in the context of network analytics. The idea of network visualization is well proven in a financial crime context. Understanding a customer's transactional network and who they're linked to in the context of a payment flow. That network visualization idea is I think widely accepted, widely used. Where a graph, I think, really evolves from that network analytics is giving far more dynamic tools to investigators, being able to build networks that aren't just transactionally focused, and also being able to bring in external data sets and build a much more holistic picture of who your customer's interacting with and how they're connected. It brings, I think, a new level of insight building on what has been possible up to this point. I think, is it natural and intuitive? I think, of course, it is. Think back to some of Scott's examples around trade finance networks or other complex use cases like corporate entity resolution or correspondent banking transactional relationships. These are all difficult, complex contexts, and being able to see them, understand them visually, is much more natural and intuitive than looking at a list of transactions and trying to interpret it. So I think there's no doubt it's natural and intuitive. But also I think the ability to move on from what you might call traditional network analytics and address the visualization problem in a much more dynamic way is really different and delivers much more value.
Yeah, I completely agree. As you said, I think these are techniques that have been around for a while. So via the intelligence agencies, through to fraud, I think they've been very much used over the last 5 to 10 years, or if not even longer. I think they're starting to show their head in the AML space. And as Simon said, that's down to a number of things. I think it's how do you better visualize data for someone to understand it, so an investigator can actually see what's happening rather than having to go to lots of different places to actually look at data, so you can bring it to one place. But then if you look at things like complex structures, so whether it's a corporation, beneficial ownership, I think it gives a better way to visualize and actually understand that data. And it gives you the opportunity to then put more advanced analytics on top of that. So how do you actually look at that data once you've linked it together? So I think the opportunities at the moment are vast for organizations. Part of it is working out how to leverage those tools in the best way for their organization.
Right, so ultimately what I'm hearing though is that the whole notion of visualization is really driving or increasing productivity at the investigator level.
It is for sure. And when you look historically, achieving these kinds of visualizations has been a manual and labour-intensive process. And it's something that now is much easier to automate. So you're able to deliver these visualizations to investigators almost complete without them having to start from scratch and build. And that's a real change in terms of how your analysts might go about gathering information.
Okay. Scott, Simon, thank you both very much. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, pleasure.
Financial crime and compliance. It's a topic that PwC and Oracle have been working on for quite some time. We look forward to talking to you about it. Thank you very much for joining us today.